How's it going, guys? I'm James and I'm back with a new video. So as you can probably tell, it's been a really long time since I've uploaded anything on this channel. It's been, I think, since probably last January or February since I've really uploaded here. So I need to try and make eye contact with the camera, but yeah, there's a multitude of reasons why I haven't really been uploading that much. The main reason is this is my last year of college, and I've really just been pushing the graduate. I've been in college for quite some time, so as you can probably understand, I just haven't really had that much time between homework and language study and personal life, to really upload. I've tried a few times and I just wasn't happy with the videos, or, for some reason I didn't. But another reason is I've also just been working on other platforms more as well, producing content. So that's been another big reason, and I've really enjoyed it as well. But I wanted to get back on YouTube because I feel like I have a little bit more freedom on this platform to talk longer, talk more about language subjects. I've been talking on my other content. I've mostly just been talking with, people. And as much as I enjoy that, and that's what language learning is about, sometimes I like to have my own chance to vent. The big thing is, I kind of forget about this, that not everyone is really interested in language learning per se. Sometimes people are just interested in a certain language, so some advice that I like to talk about, or topics that I like to talk about, I should say, doesn't really pertain to every language learner, because some people, they're not like me or many other people who are wanting to be polyglots, or, not necessarily for the polyglot title, but, just to learn multiple languages. Some people just want to learn English or Japanese, Chinese, which is, of course, fine, but I feel like a lot of the things I like to talk about can pertain more to people who are interested in learning multiple languages, who are interested in language learning processes itself. But in this video, I'm not going to really get into any type of technical stuff like about language learning or things similar to that. Instead, I just want to get caught up. It's, like I said, it's been forever since I've uploaded. I was doing podcasts too, and I didn't really ever upload to my podcast other than my first episode or two. So I've been wanting to do that, but I want to do a YouTube video. It's more personal to me, and I just like being able to have my face in the camera, not in a prideful way, of course, but I don't know. Podcast is probably my least favorite of the ways I create content, just because it's just me talking, and I don't think a lot of people are that interested in listening to me talk that much, which I guess I'm kind of doing now. But anyways, what I wanted to talk about in this video, coming back, is where I'm at now in my language learning journey. So I've taken some videos off my channel for certain reasons. There are still a few left, but I've taken off some videos, and I just I forget where I was going with that, but sorry, I'm tired. I'm making this video really late at night, so if I look tired or sound tired, that's why. But to get back on track, though, I wanted to just get caught up, share what I'm learning right now. So I've talked about this before. I don't know if the videos where I have talked about it are still up, but one of my big issues when it comes to learning languages is just, sticking with any certain language. The two languages I mostly learned on this channel were Indonesian and Spanish, and neither of these languages kind of lasted the channel. What I mean by that is Indonesian, I wasn't even really actively learning it when I was making videos, and I was just doing the videos to kind of keep up my level. And I haven't done that much with Indonesian since either, so my Indonesian level hasn't improved that much. I am a little bit more comfortable listening since I've started doing, having more Indonesian friends. I hear them speak Indonesian so much, I'm starting to get a little more acclimated or comfortable listening to it. Then with Spanish was kind of the active language I was learning on this channel. I think I ended with Russian, but Spanish was the main language I was learning here, and I was making pretty good progress in it. I don't know if the video's still up. I haven't even looked at my own videos in a while, but Spanish was the the language that I was actively learning. I was making pretty good progress in it. I was pretty happy with it, and but by the time I stopped uploading videos, I had uploaded a video, I believe. I titled it something, and it may still be up, I don't know. I titled it something along the lines of my exit video in Spanish or something. And basically, that just meant I was going to quit Spanish because I felt pulled more to learning, East Asian languages, like Chinese or Japanese. And this kind of shows my problem when it comes to languages is switching languages, because I feel like I'm just very curious when it comes to languages. I'm always, I would kind of get swept away from my active language because I would see a new language, or I'm really drawn to rare languages too, and I would switch from and that would harm my progress in, say, Spanish or Russian, and I would, of course, suffer in my learning for that. I would slow down my progress, and it was something I tried to combat for a while. I'm not going to go through the whole journey of what I've tried to learn. I've tried a lot of languages. Just to put it out there, I tried learning Japanese. Basically I've gave all the East Asian languages a try, even Mongolian. And, I've tried a whole lot of other languages too. I've tried Tagalog or Filipino. I've tried, I've tried most of the Romance languages as well, just playing around with a lot of them. And I've even dedicated pretty good amounts of time to certain languages. I already kind of spilled the beans that I was doing Russian. And I actually stuck with Russian for a really long time. If I had to add it up, I'd say 6 months, which is, for a language, it's a pretty good chunk of time, For some people, that's enough to get to a pretty good level in a language. Usually the Romance languages, at least for English speakers or speakers of similar languages. And but I dedicated quite a bit of time to Russian, and it's kind of off and on. Russian has been I'll talk about this later. I want to talk about Russian as its own thing, since that was a more serious language. And I also really delved into French. Spent probably 2 or 3 months learning French. I started that in November. I started it probably somewhere around October. I was like, I've been putting French off all this time. I got a pretty good base in Spanish, to start from, to give me a head start in French. Let's try French. And my line of thinking, and it showed an error in my method as well. It showed that I kind of underestimated learning French. I was kind of getting a little too, I thought my language learning method was pretty good. I tweaked it since I last uploaded. I was like, I think I can learn French fairly quickly. And basically I'm not going to get into it. It's a whole I don't want to get on tangents, but basically I spent a lot of time in French, and like I said, I underestimated it. I thought, I have English as my native language, then I have Spanish as my second best language, and so I was like, French shouldn't be too hard, and it wasn't terribly difficult, but I underestimated it, and I never really got to a level in those 3 months. Like, I know I can't get fluent in 3 months. I'm not saying you can. Some people might can, but I can't. But within those 3 months, and of course I was dabbling in other stuff too, which didn't help. But I spent those 3 months, and I didn't really get to a good part or a good point in French where I was kind of getting more comfortable. I'm still not comfortable listening in French. I don't expect to watch movies or, things natives would listen to, but I was hoping to at least get to a similar level at where I was at in Spanish, where it's it's comfortable, but like I'm not understanding, but I'm comfortable. It sounds familiar, and I didn't really get to that level in French that I wanted to. I did. I don't know. I just didn't do it right. So I kind of put French to the side because once again my interest changed, and skip forward to now where I'm at. So there's a few languages I've been wanting to learn, and some of them I've dropped, some of them I've kept. So originally my plan about a month ago, I believe, I've also been, I said I was interested in East Asian languages, Southeast Asian languages, but I'd also say, and this kind of goes back to why I'm studying Russian, I've been really interested to learn about Central Asia and that part of the world, Russia and some of the other countries around there included. I don't know why I have been, but I have been interested in them. And so, one of my favorite language groups has been the Turkic language groups, or groups, sorry. So that, if you don't know, that consists of languages such as Turkish, Uzbek, Kazakh, Kyrgyz, hopefully I'm saying that one right, Turkmen, and etc. So I've been really interested in this language family. I really like the sound of these languages and the agglutination. I've tried Turkish. I didn't mention it, but I've tried Turkish before as well. That was even a while back, but they're just fun languages for me because they're different from English. Like, I know every language is different than English, but these are like a completely different way of thinking compared to English, so it's a fun challenge for me. And so that I was trying to debate which Turkic language I wanted to study. For a while I was doing Turkish, but I then decided that I wanted to study Uzbek for a variety of reasons. So the main reason I wanted to study Uzbek is because I thought it was a good language to start with to get into this language family. Because I do have a little bit of help from Russian. I'm not great at Russian, but I do know some vocabulary, so that does give me a little bit more of an advantage in vocabulary acquisition. But I also thought, Uzbek doesn't have the vowel harmony that Turkish or Kazakh or these other Turkic languages do have. This isn't present in Uzbek, really. So I thought, well, this would be a good way, obviously vowel harmony isn't the only thing keeping me from learning the other languages. It's also just I'm really interested to learn Uzbek. It's not a very commonly language that I see studied, so I thought, it'd be cool to give it a shot, It'll help me to learn other Turkic languages later down the road. And then at the same time I can explore a new culture, that I don't see getting explored very often. Oh, I gotta cough. Excuse me. But then by default, I guess I can say, not really by default, that's the wrong use of the phrase, but because of Uzbek, I was also interested to maybe try learning Persian, specifically the Tajik dialect, or if you call it that. So the reason for that is I can already read Cyrillic, of course, because of Russian, and picking up the Tajik version of Cyrillic wasn't that difficult. I'm not perfect at it, but I can read it fine. So, I thought that'd make it easier, and obviously there's even less content for the Tajik variety of Persian, but basically, it's just, I thought these languages, I tried both. I started learning vocabulary in both these languages, and I thought, I was like, well, the vocabulary is similar enough, maybe I can try doing them both, and at the time I wasn't studying Russian. I was on break from Russian, so it's not like I was trying to do these three very difficult languages at once, but like I said, I was debating on studying these two languages because they have some similar vocabulary, and I thought, if I learn one, it'll help learning the other. But I wound up having to make a decision. I had to drop Tajik as well, unfortunately, because I was further in Uzbek already at the time, which I haven't been studying Uzbek long. I've only been studying it about a month now, probably. But yeah, I thought to myself, I'm like, this isn't a good idea. I'm gonna confuse myself, and it's just I didn't see it working too well because if I was studying, the problem with these two languages is there isn't much material, as you can probably guess, especially considering their Uzbek by itself. It's hard to find material for. In Tajik, when most people learn Persian, I find more content in the Iranian Persian, not the Tajik version. I guess because it's more commonly learned. And I wish there was more in the Tajik version. I feel like it's easier for me just because the alphabet's easier. But yeah, I just didn't see trying to learn two languages that have very little material. Like, a lot of my study time was going to be basically set on me either trying to find material, buying material, or creating my own material, which is a whole video I want to talk about. But so yeah, I dropped Tajik for now. I do want to come back to it later. So I know I've kind of been dragging this out, so you may be wondering, okay, so you're learning Uzbek. What else are you learning? Because I've probably hinted I'm learning. I basically gave away I'm studying Russian again earlier. I caught myself, but yeah, basically there's 3 languages right now that I'm studying, I'll say for now. As I've said, I've kind of already shown that I'm pretty prone to switching languages. I'm hoping I won't. I'm hoping I'll be able to stay with these languages. And my schedule's so busy for me right now, I'm trying to take pressure off myself. One thing I've really just been having to learn recently is that I can't rush the learning process, when it comes to languages. My bad habit before, like with French, was I had this goal that I wanted to get to a certain level within this amount of months, which it's not bad to set goals. I'm not saying it is, but but that was my line of thinking. I was like, I have to cram so much stuff, so I can reach this level. And basically, that's why I'm opening myself up to studying more languages at once. Yes, I know it's not going to be helpful, and especially with my busy schedule, but for me, that's not that big of a deal. So, the 3 languages, so the third one, so I have what I call them slots, I guess. I don't really call them that usually, I just made that up, but for now I'm calling them my language slots. So, the first language I'm focusing on is Russian. The second one is, as I've said, Uzbek. Then the third one is Spanish again. So, like I said, I'd quit Spanish, but, and oddly enough, I feel like my Spanish has improved a lot, even though I haven't really been actively studying it. I guess it's just been because I've been putting less time into studying it. I've been just writing it, whenever I talk with my friends from Latin America or from Mexico, and I guess that's helped because it's finally given me the chance to kind of put into practice what I know. My speaking hasn't really improved much. My listening isn't too bad. Like I said, I just finished watching a video in Spanish. I had to use subtitles, but I could still enjoy the video without any help from English. So that was motivating, and I've been debating on if I wanted to do Spanish or French, because I have given myself a foundation in French to where I can start improving a little bit more. But my Spanish is still miles away, or is miles ahead of my French, both in speaking, listening, and just general skills in Spanish. Not that I'm great at Spanish, but I don't know, just really been wanting to get to a good level at one language. I thought about trying to do that with Indonesian. haven't really used Indonesian that much except for just with friends. So I have a little bit more practical need for Spanish in my daily life. Well, not really in my daily life, just I use it more, but you know, but pretty much, you know, which I guess I could argue that I probably do use Indonesian more. Sorry, I'm talking so much, but basically, though, you know, Spanish would be the easiest for me to get up right now because Indonesian, even though it's simpler, you know, in grammar, it's a lot harder for me to acquire words in Indonesian, and the material to do so is harder to find. So, you know, pretty much, you know, I decided that I'm gonna try and, you know, I call it 3 slots, and you would assume I'd have that in a certain order, like Russian being most important for me to learn right now, Uzbek being second. But right now, for me, Russian's my main focus because I want to get it to a conversational level and improve my grammar. But when it comes to Spanish and Uzbek, I'd really like to get my Spanish more so I can communicate with my Spanish-speaking friends more. And I'd really like to just get to a level in a language where I can really just start to enjoy it. I have kind of gotten to that level a little bit in Indonesian, where I can chat with friends and it's not as difficult. But Spanish is the easiest language for me right now to really improve because I have a good foundation in it to improve on. I'm getting to where I can start to watch videos in Spanish without as much need for subtitles. And at the same time, you know, I'm wanting to get to a higher level in Spanish, you know, where where it becomes more like English for me, where it's more like my native language, you know, where I don't have trouble speaking it. I don't expect to get native-like, but, you know, I'd like to be able to speak in it as well as some of my friends do speak English. So those are my goals for right now. But as I said, I don't know what the year will hold for me. Sometimes I switch languages because a need comes up for it in my life, you know. But it's something I'll have to see, though. So that's the plan for now, is to work on these 3 languages. As for the channel, I want to get back into it. Hopefully uploading every week if possible. And yeah, I'm hoping to do videos about you know, language learning topics, my journey, progress updates, as well as me talking to you guys, you know, sharing things I've learned, advice that I've picked up, you know, or learned myself, and hopefully help you all learn your languages. Then, yeah, I never know. I may do more and more as the year goes by, as new ideas come, if the channel grows, who knows. But yeah, I've gone 23 minutes, so I need to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you liked, subscribed, and if you really liked it, share it with your friends if you think it'd be beneficial for them. And but yeah, hopefully you liked it. I know I kind of rambled for a while. I don't really expect people to listen to me ramble that long, but yeah, I'll be trying to update. You know, as much as I wish I could update in Uzbek, you know, I don't really know enough to be able to say much in it, as well as Russian. Even though I've studied Russian probably anywhere from 6 to 9 months, what's the phrase for it? I've picked it up and put it down a lot, but I just don't think I have much to present in Russian. A lot of it's just going to sound rehearsed, and my grammar's going to be bad. So I just don't see the point in me updating my Russian. It's not going to show much. You know, people could point out mistakes, but there'd probably be too many for people to point out. So I may do a video in Spanish. I'm not sure. I may do it tonight, just depending on how I'm feeling. But like I said, hope you enjoyed it, guys, and I'll see you next time.